Hey, it's Zach from the Ree Report. Today we're in that woodlot that I was talking about, how basically there's hardly any understory and it's about all the same age wood. So to give this more cover that, maybe a nice buck or some does and stuff will start utilizing this as a bedding area. It's one of those kind of off the edge. Nobody really thinks that it's in a little important spot, but this is one of those little spots that a buck can, because basically there's yards, not 100 yards from us, and a buck can just get in here real nice, find a little comfy spot, hang out, and get big, and not really deal with any hunting pressure. So, given this, I'm gonna do some hinge cutting, just basically punching holes through that canopy so more sunlight can hit the ground and kind of boost this understory. First thing I'm gonna do to get immediate cover on the ground is start dropping a few trees. Some I'm gonna cut straight right off, let them drop, get the tops on the ground, and then I'll hinge cut a few so that they're still gonna be alive and produce new growth, provide browse, and more cover. So let's do it. Now the key to doing this effectively is analyze what trees you have. Here's the cherry. Got a few maples over my shoulder. This is a choke cherry, and then I think there's a few mixed box elders in here. Yeah, the cherry's like a higher value wood, but if you don't do any cutting, like most of these cherry trees, they're 4, 5, 6 foot apart from each other. Competing for sun growth, they're really not going to be anything timber value because they're just going to be the same size. None of them are really going to have a chance to get big and be worth something. So the best thing for this forest is create a few openings, knock a few down so the competition isn't nearly as high. So you do end up getting a couple of trees that are actually worth a log price. And then while we're doing that, we're adding value to the wildlife. So if I'm facing south right now, obviously this is where majority of your sunlight's coming through, and I'm gonna punch holes through that more of this can hit the bottom. I do have a little ridge, about, 10 foot elevation. It's kind of the high spot in this little woodlot, and then it drops down towards the neighbors' yards. There's a couple old buck rubs already on that, and we've jumped bigger bucks out of here in the past, so we're just going to add more cover on the bottom. So I'll probably drop a few, get some tops on the ground on that ridge top where they'll be, and then I'll work my way towards the south. That way I got lanes for more sunlight to hit the ground. Since this wood's so tight, it's hard to hinge a tree all the way down, because you got all these other ones blocking. So what I did is I cut a few of them clear off, dropped them, and then I'm just marking them into 4-footers so I can do firewood poles. But behind you, I hinged this maple, and since I didn't cut it all the way off, it's still going to have enough of a connection there that nutrients from the roots and stuff will still go to this tree top. This is still going to have leaves and continue to grow for a while. But basically I'm getting these tree tops on the ground so they have immediate cover before a lot of this undergrowth has a chance. But it's going to take a lot of work to get enough holes through this canopy for enough sunlight to get down to it. But once those tree tops are on the ground like that, that's immediate cover. It's a lot better than it already was. So you can see I hinged a few. This was kind of my pocket where I could drop a few without getting hung up like that cherry did. But if you'd come down here, because like already a deer could bed right up there. It's got this backdrop, that treetop for a backdrop, sense of cover. And if you get on the bottom side of this, you gotta think winter time. They're sitting in here on a sunny day. They can tuck right up into here. They have this whole mess of trees as a backdrop, like a security blanket. They feel like predators can't see them as well. Because you gotta think too, when you're doing these hinge cuts, you don't want to do them so high. A deer's probably about this big, so you gotta think, I'm a deer. Predators can't really see my outline because I got this broke up. The rest of these trees. So this is just a small sample size. I'm hoping to have a few more of these little areas where we got down trees that provide backdrop for deer to kind of get comfortable in. It's a lot better than it already was. Open woods. Now they got a little something. So if you like this content, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with a friend. Until next time, thanks.